We're learning more tonight about the suspect in the Idaho murders and some troubling behavior he exhibited in the weeks before and after the murders, but before he was arrested. Happened on the campus of Washington State University, where he was a PhD student in criminology. Behavior that was so troubling, according to the New York Times, the university launched an investigation into Kohberger of his conduct towards women after getting complaints from female students and his performance as a teaching assistant, ultimately leading to his firing from his paid teaching position in late December, just 11 days before his arrest. All while Moscow police were conducting an investigation of their own into the killings of the 4 students on November 13th. The Times report lays out the timeline of trouble for Kohberger at Washington State, beginning on September 23rd, about a month into his first semester there, and this is a month and a half before the killings. According to the school, Kohberger had an altercation with the professor for whom he was a teaching assistant. No details on what it was about. But after the incident, records show Kohberger met with a university official to discuss norms of professional behavior. Then October 21st, we're now a few weeks before the murders, a professor emailed him about the ways in which he had failed to meet expectations as a TA thus far in the semester. It's previously been reported that students had complained about Kohberger's harsh grading as a TA during the time leading up to the murders. November 2nd, 11 days before, department leaders met with Kohberger to discuss an improvement plan. Then December 9th, nearly 4 weeks after the killings, the school reports Kohberger had another altercation with his professor. On December 15th, we have video of Kohberger being stopped by police while on the road with his father, leading to his Pennsylvania home. And at about the same time, school officials met to discuss Kohberger's future as a TA in their end-of-the-year meeting, investigating reports from some women that he made them feel uncomfortable, and in one instance was accused of following a female student to her car. The university apparently wasn't able to prove any wrongdoing, but still, it was all enough for the university to fire him on December 19th, the official termination in a letter, which Ashley Banfield got a hold of. Then December 30th, Kohberger was arrested for the murders of the 4 Idaho students. Joining us now, Mike Baker, Seattle bureau chief for the New York Times, who wrote the article revealing the timeline. Thanks very much for coming on the program. Appreciate it. So do we have a sense at all of what the primary cause was of his firing? Was it the arguments with the teachers, or was it the reports of his conduct with women?
Yeah, right. You had sort of these 2 tracks of problems that were going on. As we understand, the issues with the women, they determined was not founded. They couldn't conclude any wrongdoing. So that ended up not being a factor in their decision to fire him. What ended up being the major factor was going through the recent history with him of problems that he had with his professors and other superiors there, including 2 altercations. We had been told from a couple of sources familiar with what was going on that these were verbal altercations with a professor, and that sort of a standard of behavior of being a professional in the workplace was the kind of thing they were considering at that end of the year meeting in deciding whether to cut his funding and eliminate him as a teaching assistant.
You know, considering how scrutinized this case has been, I'm sort of stunned that a lot of this information is only coming out now. Was it tough information to uncover? Can you talk at all about how you were able to get it?
Yeah, it's been tough to get to. The university has not given any indication that this kind of thing was going on behind the scenes. Their statements were essentially that he finished out his semester there in December and they helped law enforcement search his office at the time of his arrest. And other than that, they haven't discussed it. Their position right now is that federal privacy law essentially prohibits them from talking about the details of his time at WSU. Even though, he was a teaching assistant, he was in a position of leading some of these students. And so we're hoping to get more records eventually under that premise that he was effectively working there.
Any other suggestion that there may be other troubling behavior that Kohberger exhibited at the school?
You talked a little bit about it. There were a lot of concerns among students about the type of grading he was doing, how harsh he was. And then there was the aspects of concerns about women.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.